Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Nate, and today we're checking out why Texas is nothing like every other US state. This one's a little special to me because I've lived in Texas all my life, so I'm curious what makes Texas so different. So without further ado, pull up a chair and let's get right into it. Alrighty, let's go.
Texas looks like just another big American state, but in
Yep.
reality, it functions, thinks, and behaves like the opposite of almost
Oh,
every other United States state.
wow.
Today, we are diving
Okay.
deep into why Texas is truly one of a kind. Texas stretches across 268,596 square miles, a
Wow.
landmass so vast that the numbers almost lose meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But consider this. If you could lay Rhode Island, the country's smallest state, inside Texas, you would need about 260 of them just to fill the space.
Wow, that's crazy.
The difference is staggering. The drive from El Paso in the far west to Beaumont on the Louisiana border takes nearly 12 hours.
That's
It is
crazy.
longer than it takes to cross half a dozen other states combined. Along that route,
Yes, so I've actually taken a actual I'm gonna stop real quick. I've taken a trip before when I used to live in Austin. I took it all the way to I went to New Mexico, and it was about a 12-hour drive from Austin to New Mexico, and about 8 9 hours of it was just getting out of Texas going through El Paso, which is crazy ridiculous.
the landscape changes again and again as barren desert gives way to rolling hills, then to pine forests
Mm-hmm.
and humid coastal plains. In most states, a 4-hour drive means you are crossing into a new place entirely.
Correct.
In Texas, you are often still deep inside its borders with miles to go before anything feels different on a map. This immense scale isn't just a trivia fact, it shapes everything about life here.
Yeah, so I mean, I just recently just moved from to the Dallas area, to the North Dallas area, and I live literally an hour north of the Dallas area, and it pretty much, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that like if something's 30 miles away, it's gonna be double that in time or even more because of traffic. It's crazy.
The distances between cities, the size of ranches and oil fields, the way weather systems move, even how people think about their own identity. It's why Texas can host blizzards in Amarillo while palm trees sway near the Gulf, why cattle drives and high-tech startups happen under the
Right.
same flag. The sheer physical spread allows for a patchwork of cultures and climates that would be impossible in a smaller state. When
Hmm.
people talk about
Interesting.
Texas as a world unto itself, they are not exaggerating. The boundaries contain multitudes, each region distinct, yet all unmistakably Texan. That is the paradox at the heart of the state. So big it is hard to believe it is just one place, yet so unified in spirit that it feels like a single story written on a grand, sprawling canvas.
Ooh, I like that
In
beer.
1836,
Shiner.
Texas declared itself a republic and set about building the institutions of a nation from scratch. Sam Houston, the first
Hmm.
elected president, oversaw a government complete with its own Congress, courts, and constitution. The
Okay.
Republic of Texas minted its own currency, the Texas dollar, from 1838 to 1840, and launched a navy to patrol the Gulf, with ships like the Invincible and the San Antonio defending its coastline. Diplomatic missions in Washington, London, and Paris signaled to the world that Texas intended to stand as an equal among nations. For
Interesting.
nearly a decade, it operated as a sovereign country, collecting tariffs, negotiating treaties, and managing its own affairs far from Washington's reach. When the question of joining the United States arose, Texas did not follow the usual path of territory and then statehood. Instead, Congress
Hmm.
passed a joint resolution signed on March 1st, 1845, offering statehood directly and bypassing the treaty process that had stalled for years. The Republic's own convention voted to accept, and by December 1845, Texas entered the Union with its public lands and debts intact.
Nice.
This admission was not just unusual, it was unprecedented. The resolution included a clause found nowhere else. Texas could, if it chose, divide itself into as many as 5 states in the future.
Wow.
No other state
5.
was
That's
given
crazy.
such a ceiling or that kind of autonomy over its own political fate. These legal quirks still echo today. Texas's early independence and the unique terms of its entry shaped everything from land ownership to school funding, and even set the stage for the state's later insistence on its own electric grid. The story of Texas's admission is not just a chapter in U.S. history, it is the root of why so many of its systems, rights, and attitudes remain distinct from the rest of the country. No state income tax. That's the first thing many people hear about
Yeah,
Texas.
that's why a lot of people.
And it sounds almost
Yeah, crazy enough, because Texas doesn't have any income tax, a lot of people, I've lived in Texas all my life, and a lot of people are moving from all sorts to Texas. Actually, I moved from Austin, and that's actually was the fastest growing city.
impossible for a place with nearly 31 million residents.
Mm.
Yet Texas claims the second largest state economy in the United States, with a gross state product topping $2.2 trillion.
Wow.
A figure bigger than the economies of Australia or Spain. The logic seems upside down. How does a state with no personal income tax fund its roads, schools, and sprawling cities? The answer lies in a different kind of financial engine, one fueled by sales taxes, property taxes, and a relentless drive to attract business from across the country. The Texas Enterprise Fund, launched in 2003, offers massive incentives to companies willing to relocate or expand here. It is a magnet that has pulled in giants like Tesla, Oracle, and Toyota, each drawn by the promise of lower operating costs and fewer regulatory hurdles. But the real secret weapon sits on the Gulf Coast. The Port of Houston anchors a global trade network that reaches from the Midwest to markets across the Atlantic and the Pacific.
That's interesting.
In 2022, the port moved over 275 million tons of goods, including oil,
That's crazy.
chemicals, and manufactured products, more than the ports of Los Angeles and New York combined. This financial machinery isn't just about numbers. It is visible in the skyline of Houston, where oil executives share space with wind energy startups, and in small towns where new factories spring up beside century-old ranches. For an energy entrepreneur, Texas is a place where the rules are different. There is room to take risks, scale fast, and tap into a workforce as diverse as the landscapes outside. The state's economy runs not on a single formula, but on a blend of old and new, local grit and global ambition, all without a single dollar of personal income tax collected from its people. A single state, yet 8 distinct worlds. The Llano Estacado rises more than 4,000 feet above sea level, its winter snows dusting the high plains around Amarillo and Lubbock.
Okay.
This is cattle and wheat country, dry and windblown, where the horizon seems to stretch forever. Head southwest and the land drops sharply into the Trans-Pecos, a desert basin where the Rio Grande carves through mountains and the air turns bone dry. In the shadow of the Davis Mountains, summer heat can top 110 degrees, but in winter,
It's nothing.
Marfa sometimes wakes to a rare dusting of snow. Central Texas brings a dramatic shift. The hill country, with its limestone ridges and clear spring-fed rivers, rolls between Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah.
Wildflowers blanket the roadsides in spring, and the weather swings from balmy to brisk within.
That's just going back. Hold on, where is it?
Roll-
This is what I'm gonna miss from Austin is the hill country. You can driving down that with the beautiful scenery. Yeah, I'm gonna miss
between
that a lot.
Austin and San Antonio. Wildflowers blanket the roadsides in spring, and the weather swings from balmy to brisk within days. This is the heart of the state's wine country, but also home to high-tech startups and music festivals. To the east, the piney woods begin. A thick, humid forest where pines tower over red clay and rainfall can reach 50 inches a year.
50 inches.
The air is
wow.
heavy and green,
That's a lot of water.
closer in spirit to Mississippi than the dry plains to the west. Then the land flattens again into the coastal plain, running to the Gulf of Mexico. Here, palm trees sway along the beaches of Corpus Christi and
It's my
Galveston,
hometown.
and hurricanes threaten every
Corpus Christi means the body of Christ. It's my hometown.
summer.
Lived there for
The
17 years.
elevation drops to sea level, just as the climate shifts to subtropical. On a single day, it is possible to leave behind a snowstorm in Amarillo and end up surfing warm waves at South Padre
Right.
Island.
Yep.
Texas contains 5 Köppen climate zones, from
Okay.
cold semi-arid to humid subtropical. Elevation bands run from the high plains to the bayou, each shaping what people grow, build, and believe.
Mm.
This physical patchwork breeds more than just scenic
it's beautiful.
variety. It creates different ways of life, different economies, and even different identities,
Right.
all within the same border.
Dia de los Muertos.
In Texas, geography is not just background. It is destiny, rewritten every 100 miles.
Mm.
Rituals here aren't just for show. They are woven into daily life,
Right.
shaping how Texans see themselves and each other. The rodeo, for example, traces its roots back to the vaquero.
I've lived in Texas all my life, like I said, for about 4 decades, and sadly, I have not been to one single rodeo. I need to go. I need to get on that.
Traditions brought by Spanish and Mexican horsemen. Today it is more than a sport. It is a celebration of skill and grit,
Yep.
drawing crowds from tiny towns to stadiums in Houston and San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Friday nights in the fall,
Friday
stadium
night
lights
lights.
cut through the dark in nearly every community. As high school football transforms small towns into roaring centers of pride.
Yep.
These are not just games, they are weekly gatherings that bind neighbors and generations together. The phrase, "Don't mess with Texas," started as an anti-littering campaign
Oh
in
wow,
the
that's
1980s,
interesting. Never knew
but it
that.
quickly became a badge of identity,
Post
stamped
Malone.
on everything from t-shirts to highway signs. The Lone Star emblem surfaces everywhere, on boots, belt buckles, courthouse doors. Underneath it all runs a blend of influences, Hispanic, Southern, Western, each leaving its mark on language, food, and the rhythm of daily life. In Texas, culture is not a backdrop. It is the fabric that holds a sprawling, contradictory state together. Texas runs on its own current. The ERCOT grid, covering 90% of the state,
Oh,
stands
ERCOT.
apart from national networks,
ERCOT. You
allowing
gotta say it like
Texas
that?
to set its own rules and face its own risks. When the February 2021 storm
Yeah,
hit,
That was bad. I was there. In
power
Austin.
plants froze, millions lost electricity.
Fortunately, the apartment that I lived in was like near a community college, so all of the power lines were underground. The only thing I lost was water during that storm, and that was only because of the fact my apartment complex just shut off water to every single building to prevent the pipes from bursting. So I was fortunate to have actually electricity during that time. But no, I heard about like people like losing water. I had a bunch of friends and family that lost water. See it in the news. It was crazy.
And outside, help was out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
Along the border, independence takes another form. Over 1,200 miles of crossings fuel $300 billion in annual trade, with cities like
Wow.
Laredo and El Paso linking 2 economies. Yet the border is
Borders,
also a
yep.
flashpoint, shaped by policies far from Texas soil. Meanwhile, the population surges. In the last decade, Texas gained over 4 million residents,
And it's still
more than
growing.
any other state. School districts scramble to keep up, and energy entrepreneurs pivot from oil to renewables.
Right.
Independence here isn't just history, it's daily reality, written into every grid, border, and census chart. Texas keeps rewriting its own story. It is a place where a former nation's borders hold both wind turbines and oil fields, and where one state spans more than 130 Rhode Islands. Its paradoxes shape national debates in real time. In America's future, Texas remains the wild card. Share your thoughts below.
Alrighty guys, well there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this just as much as I did. I definitely learned something new and I hope you guys did too. One of the things that really surprised me after reading through the comments was learning that Texas was actually the #1 state for wind power and produces about 6% of the world's wind energy. I honestly had no idea, and it's moments like that that are exactly why I started this channel. Because growing up, history was never really my favorite subject because everything was taught in textbooks and I just never really learned that way. But it's videos just like this and everything that's shared in the comments that has made me appreciate history and my home state in a completely different way. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. Whether you've been here from the very beginning or you're just finding my channel for the very first time, I just wanted you to know that I truly do appreciate you. So if you enjoyed hanging out with me, I'd really appreciate a like by hitting that like button, and consider subscribing to me as I continue discovering America as I never knew. As always, pull up a chair and I'll see you on the next one.